Pecan, pecan, whatever you call it. I never appreciated the magic of this pie until I was an adult, and now it's one of my top favorite pies. I love that rich caramel-like filling with the crunch of the pecans. I'm Lauren from Taste Better from Scratch, and today we are making pecan pie. Let's get started. The most important part of any pie is the pie crust, and I've already made my favorite easy pie crust recipe, and it's ready for the pie filling, but you can use a store-bought crust if you'd like. We're going to start with 1 cup of granulated sugar in a mixing bowl. Add 3 tablespoons of light brown sugar, 1 cup of corn syrup, light corn syrup, and 1/3 cup of softened butter. And we're just add a little pinch of salt. You can use salted or unsalted butter. Just adjust the salt if you use salted butter. Okay, got my hand mixer. We're just gonna mix this all until combined. Okay, we're gonna add 3 room temperature eggs. And a little splash of vanilla. This is the easiest pie to make. This was the pie I was assigned when I was 10 years old, and I hated it. It had nuts, it's not very pretty, but I was 10 years old and I could make this pie. That's how easy this is. So this is all, we're just mixing this in, and then we're gonna add our nuts. We're gonna mix in our halved pecans. I like to set out just a handful, and then we're gonna stir in the rest. Okay, that's it. We are going to pour this into our prepared pie crust. So I've got my homemade pie crust in here. You can use store-bought if you want, but this is so easy to make. You have everything you need to make it, and it's quicker than going to the store. So I like to just crimp the edges. However you want to do that, I just use my thumb and my index fingers. Okay, now we're going to spoon this filling right into the crust. We are adding this filling to an unbaked pie crust. Spoon it in. I like to just kind of toss to make sure the nuts are evenly dispersed, not all in one pile. And I like to go through, and if there's any that you see that are flipped upside down, you can just gently flip them over. And I'm going to take my reserved nuts right here and just kind of put them in any empty spots on the top of the pie. And then just make sure to kind of toss a little bit of batter over the top of them. One thing I love about this pie is you can make it ahead of time. It will keep really well. After you bake it, you can store it in the fridge or on the countertop for days. So it's a great one to make ahead for Thanksgiving or any occasion. Okay, we are ready to put this in the oven. We're gonna start it at a hot temperature at 425 degrees for 10 minutes. Then we'll lower the temperature to 350 and cook it for 40 to 50 minutes until the center is set. Halfway through cooking, we're gonna cover the pie with a piece of aluminum foil to keep it from browning too much. I like to spray the foil with a little cooking spray and tent it up high so it doesn't stick to the filling. Pull the pie out and just jiggle it slightly. You want the edges to be set and the center to just barely jiggle. If it's overly jiggly, you can stick it back in the oven for a few more minutes until it's set. After it's finished baking, remove it from the oven and set it aside to cool. It needs to be completely cool before you cut it. This pecan pie is one of my all-time favorites. The homemade crust, the caramel flavored pecan filling, it's so delicious and it's so easy to make. I guarantee you this pie will be hard to pass up at your next holiday dinner. Thanks for watching, you guys. Be sure to subscribe for more recipes that taste better from scratch.